I realized something important yesterday, which is that with the life that I'm working on building, it is never going to be easier for me to find peace in the present than it is right now. Things are only going to get more chaotic and confusing, and I know what I'm signing up for, but I need to cultivate that skill set of being able to be happy in the present and just not take this time for granted. Because when I zoom out and look at how far I've come, I see how much progress that I've made. And then when I zoom out and look forward and build, look at what I'm trying to build, I'm excited about that future. But counterintuitively, what's going to best prepare me for that future is to get really, really good at being fulfilled right now, at not predicating that fulfillment on some external contingency, on some event that needs to take place in the future, or some thing that I want to have, or none of that. Just getting really, really good at appreciating the present moment while taking the meaningful action steps in and doing the work to improve my skills and to actually make a tangible difference for the lives of the people around me. And not only is that going to best prepare me for that future, but that's also going to be the thing that helps me be the happiest in the present. And it's so much easier said than done. But yeah, it hit me really hard yesterday that in that process of zooming out, I'm like, oh, like these are the good times. These are the good times right now. And on some dimensions, sure, my life right now is suboptimal. There are things that I definitely feel like are missing to some extent. Now I'm being super vague. Like, yeah, I want to have a girl and a dog and someday a family, and I would love to be able to spend more time out in nature and to be working collaboratively with people on what I believe to be the most important problems of our time. See how we can respond to the predicaments that humanity is facing while just living the most meaningful lives that we can. And I'm doing that in small ways already, but I would like to be doing it more. Fair enough. That life is going to be more stressful than the one that I have right now. In fact, my life right now, the fulfillment to actual stress ratio is probably the best that it's ever going to get. And yet I still find a way to get all anxious and to get all worked up over nothing. And it's so silly. And so I need to cultivate that skill set right now because right now is the time that it's going to be the easiest to find that peace in the present. And then finding it now is going to help me be able to find it when things are actually stressful, when I actually feel like the world is falling down around me. Because right now, things are really good. I have an incredible family that I love. I have some really great friends. I have a job that is genuinely fulfilling and gives me a real sense of community. Like, there's no reason to try and get away from this. Like, 5 years ago, me would have killed to be where I'm at right now. Seriously. And it's just a moving target. You know what I mean? But in understanding that it's a moving target, that's where there's the potential to say, you know what? This is the moment to find that appreciation, to find that sense of peace. And that the better that I get at doing it right now, the better that I'm going to get at doing that in the future when the target keeps moving. And that is maybe the most important skill that I can cultivate is just a present sense of appreciation. And that present sense of appreciation is exactly how I can take the actions that increase my agency and decrease my anxiety. That's really what I need to focus on the most, is taking meaningful actions. But meaningful actions are so much easier when I'm not consumed by anxiety, when I'm not stressed out about all sorts of nonsense, and when I am just where I am. So hopefully that makes sense. I got some great feedback from one of my close friends yesterday when thinking about like how to create more value for this channel. And he talked about really documenting the process of the different things that I'm doing, whether it's like how I've gone from really challenging health ordeals, and having a connective tissue disorder is not a good time. I can go into more detail on that in the future, but going from that to where I work in as a personal trainer every day now, and where I can actually just live an active life and do the things that I want to do because I've put into work to strengthen myself. And then the process of making music, the process of launching the Big Plans channel as I get that off the ground. And I think that that's really good feedback. I'm brainstorming ways that I can bring that to life more effectively. But I'm starting to get some ideas, and I'll continue to cultivate that as we go. But yeah, and that also just goes to show, like, surrounding yourself with the right people, the people who will actually tell you what they really think, and not just be like, oh yeah, it's great. Like, this is interesting. Based on what you're trying to do, here's how I think you can make it more interesting and more valuable in understanding like what I actually want to achieve and what my goals are with building this. And so finding people who genuinely care about you, who have an aligned vision for the future with you, and who are willing to take the time to understand you so that they can then help you become the best version of yourself. Like, those are the exact kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. And it's never going to be a super long list, but it's more of a quality metric than a quantity metric, right? And I am extremely blessed to have a few friends that I can put into that category. And so I'm just really appreciative of the life that I have right now, and I can continue to get better at that skill. And I am.